Hello, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. This is Mrs. Krenitza with your next library lesson. This time we are going to concentrate on reference materials, dictionaries, and thesauruses. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, your learning intention is I can improve my vocabulary by using word reference materials. Success criteria is that I can use dictionaries and thesauruses to learn more about words. Okay, these are some questions to think about while we are listening to the Brain Pop video about dictionary and thesauruses, and we're talking about an assignment that I would like you guys to complete for me. So the essential questions: how can I expand my vocabulary to better communicate and understand? Because think about it, when you speak with people, the words that you use, the way that you communicate, it makes a big difference in being successful, letting somebody know information, what you're trying to tell them, and also for them to be able to respond to you. So here are some of the questions. How do we learn about words? Where can we learn more about words? Why is it important to learn new words? Why is it important to have a good vocabulary? How can improving your vocabularies improve our ability to communicate with others? So think about these questions while we're listening to the Brain Pop video on dictionaries and thesauruses.
What's a 7-letter word for trip? Okay, do you know a 9-letter word for height? An 8-letter word for fight? How about a 4-letter word for an orange robot who doesn't know very much? Dear Tim and Moby, what do people use dictionaries for, and what's a thesaurus? Thanks, Angela. Hey, let's start with dictionaries. People use a dictionary for a lot of different reasons: to figure out the spelling of words, to find out where a word comes from, or to learn how a word is used. But usually you pull out a dictionary to figure out what a word means. Well, a dictionary is any list of words with their definitions. The words are listed in alphabetical order, so using a dictionary is pretty simple. To help find your way around, there are 2 guide words at the top of every page. Those tell you the first and last word on the page you're looking at. So if the word you're looking for doesn't fall between those 2 alphabetically, then you've got to keep looking. Neutron, owl, quicksand, here it is. When you find your word, you'll find a lot more than just the definition. First, you'll see dots in the middle of the word that tell you how to split the word up into its syllables, or single sounds. You'll also see a bunch of funny-looking symbols that tell you how to pronounce the word, as long as you know what those symbols mean. And the entry will tell you what part of speech the word is, like N for noun or V for verb, plus how to form the plural. Robots. Finally, you get the definitions. Yeah, a lot of times there are more than one. The definitions are usually put in order of how common they are. So, the most common definition for robot is a machine that looks like a human and can be programmed to perform complicated tasks. Doesn't matter if you don't agree, that's what the dictionary says. Anyway, the least common definition is South Africa Automatic Traffic Light, informal. The italicized words tell you that calling traffic lights robots is only done in South Africa, and only when you're talking informally, like with your friends. Some dictionaries will also tell you where the words come from. Hey, it says here that robot was actually made up by a Czech playwright from a word meaning forced labor. I don't think robot is meant to be an insult. But we could check a thesaurus if you want to find a different word. Like a dictionary, a thesaurus is a list of words, but it doesn't have definitions. Instead, it'll give you the part of speech and a list of similar, related terms for every word you look up. Thesauruses are a really good way to learn new words and improve your writing. Most are ordered alphabetically, just like a dictionary, but some are arranged by theme, which can be a little tricky. For example, robot might be found in two sections, the one about labor and the one about machines. Here it is. Automaton, android, drone, drudge, computer, clone, machine, mechanical device, puppet. Yeah, I know you're not just a mechanical device. Since words in a thesaurus aren't always exact synonyms, it's a good idea to go back to your dictionary if you're unsure about something. But with a dictionary and a thesaurus, you should be able to tackle any sort of writing.
Okay, guys, good job. So let's take a look and see if we can take the quiz. So let's go ahead and we will try this. All right, so let's take a look. If a word has several definitions, which one will be listed first in a dictionary? So if you remember this, what did Tim say was going to be the first definition? A, the definition that the dictionary makers like the most. B, the most common definition. C, the oldest definition. Or D, the least common definition. If you remember, Tim said it would be the most common definition. Good job. In what way is a thesaurus arranged differently than a dictionary? A thesaurus contains entries in many different languages. A dictionary contains entries in only one language. B, a thesaurus is written in short essays about usage and syntax. A dictionary is simply a list of words. C, dictionary entries are arranged by parts of speech. Thesaurus entries are arranged chronologically. Or D, a dictionary lists entries alphabetically. The listings in a thesaurus are often organized by theme. Okay, this one they didn't really go over, but if we look at A, that it's not true because if thesaurus, if one is in a different language, they're going to have a dictionary in a different language. A thesaurus is not going to have short essays, and a dictionary is not simply a list of words. Dictionary entries are not arranged by parts of speech. You remember dictionaries are ABC order. And so this one, a dictionary lists entries alphabetically, and so does a thesaurus. But a lot of times a thesaurus might be organized by theme. Like what kind of word is it that you're looking to find a synonym or an antonym for? Okay. Tim's dictionary includes the etymology of the word robot and notes that it comes from a Czech word. In the previous sentence, what does etymology mean? Well, if you look back, a clue to etymology is that it's a Czech word. So that means that it would come from a different language. So would etymology mean the definition of a word, the origin of a word, the number of syllables in a word, or the part of speech? So remember, we said etymology, if you look back of a word, that it comes from a Czech word, so a different language. So etymology would mean the origin of the word, where it came from. Okay, guys, the guide words at the top of the dictionary page are garment and gestate. Which word would be defined on that page? Okay, let's take a look at A, gamete. Okay, so up here you have G-A-R and G-E-S. Well, gamete is G-A-M. And if you know your ABCs, which I know you guys do, you would know that G-A-M, the M here would come before the R. So it could not be between these two. Okay, let's look at garden. Okay, we have G-A-R-D. If you look up here, we have G-A-R-M. Well, again, if you know your ABCs, you know that D will come before M, so it can't be between the two. Let's look at Gilid. G-E-L-I-D. Okay, so we have G-E-L. If we go up here, we'll look in here, we have a G-E, we have a G-E-S. Well, we know that L comes before S in the alphabet, so it could come before this, and GE would come after GA. So we can tell it would be in between the two. So that's probably our answer, but let's just check the last one to make sure. Geyser, G-E-Y. If you go up here, you have G-E-S. Well, Y comes after S in the alphabet, so it would be over here. So it would not be in between the two. So it would be Gilid. Good job, guys. Why are words in dictionaries broken up by dots? So do you remember, why did Tim say that there were dots in between the letters of the words? Does it indicate breaks between syllables? The dots indicate the language the word comes from? The dots indicate what part of speech the word is? Or the dots hint at the word's meaning? Take a minute to think about it. What did Tim say? Why are the dots in between the letters? Yes, it's because it gives you the syllables. Good job. Where might you find the word candle in a thesaurus? So think about it. It's in one of the previous questions, it talked about a thesaurus being divided into themes. So let's think of a candle. So which one of these words would have something to do with candle? Under the heading light, well, we know that a candle can give us light. Under the heading sight, well, I wouldn't really picture or put together sight with a candle. Under the heading opera, no, when I think of an opera, I don't necessarily think of a candle. And under the heading nouns. Now, yes, a candle is a noun, but that is a part of speech. And when we're talking about a theme, we would talk about a candle. When you think of a candle, which one of these would you think of? You would think of light. Good job. If a dictionary definition includes the letter V at the end, what can you conclude about the word being defined? If you think about it, in the video, it showed us after the word, it would have like an N or a V or an ADV or ADJ. What does that stand for? A, it's pronounced with a strong V sound. B, it begins with the letter V. C, it has 5 syllables. Or D, it's a verb. Think for just a minute. Why would a dictionary definition have the letter V at the end? Yes, it would be because it is a verb. If it was an N, it would mean it's a noun. If it's an ADV, it would mean it's an adverb. If it was ADJ, it would mean it's an adjective. The part of speech, that's what those letters stand for. 8. Why should you use a dictionary to look up words you find in a thesaurus? Because words in a thesaurus are often misspelled. Well, we know that's not correct. Because thesaurus makers are often sloppy with their definitions. Well, we know that's not correct. Because words in a thesaurus aren't always exact synonyms. Because the dictionary will provide even more synonyms for the new word. Well, since the thesaurus is mainly for synonyms and antonyms, then we know that a dictionary is not going to provide more synonyms. But if you remember from the video, it said because words in a thesaurus aren't always exact synonyms. So sometimes you can look in a dictionary and you can possibly find a different synonym. That's why they say it's good to have a dictionary and a thesaurus. How can you compare the functions of a dictionary so what a dictionary does, and what a thesaurus does. How can you compare them? A thesaurus defines words. A dictionary shows you how to spell them. B, a thesaurus gives you alternate definitions for words. A dictionary provides the main definition. A thesaurus is a comprehensive list of words in the English language. A dictionary provides word origins, which means where they come from. Or D, a thesaurus helps you find the word you're looking for. A dictionary helps you define it. So let's think about this. So a thesaurus can help you find a word you're looking for. Because remember, you might be looking for a synonym, which is a word that means the same thing, or an antonym, which is a word that means the opposite. And then the dictionary is going to give you the meaning. It's going to help you define it. And 10. How can a thesaurus help you improve your writing? Choose the best answer. A, it can help you spell difficult words. B, it can help you find more interesting words to use. C, it can help you define words you don't know. D, it can help you find rhyming words. Well, helping you spell difficult words, that's going to be more of a dictionary. B, helping you find more interesting words to use. So remember, you might have a word like wet or smart. And you might want to find a word like smart. You could use a word like intelligent. Or for wet, you could use a word like moist or soaked. So a thesaurus can help you find words that mean the same thing as like a basic word you're thinking of, but it can give you a more interesting word to help your writing. Okay, guys, good job. All right. So what we are going to do here, I am going to have a copy of a handout. And the top of the copy is going to look like this. It's going to have dictionary and thesaurus. And the bottom of the handout is going to have some work you can do from a thesaurus. And what I'm going to do right now is we are going to go over the things that only a dictionary does, a thing that a thesaurus can do, and then what they can both do together. And then you can take these and fill them out on your handout that you can print out. Okay? And if you're not able to print the handout, you can always get your own piece of paper. You can draw this Venn diagram and you can fill it in on your own piece of paper. Okay, so let's think. What were some of the things that a dictionary could do? Just a dictionary. So we know that it could give us definitions, right? Okay, good job. We know it could give us definitions. We know it could help us with the spelling of a word. We know that it could help us with the origin of the word, meaning where it came from. Now let's think of a thesaurus. So a thesaurus, we know we can find synonyms, which are words that mean the same thing as each other. We can find antonyms, which are words that mean the opposite. Now, what are some things that we could say about both of them? Okay, so let's think about it. Well, we know that sometimes thesauruses can be themed, right? Have different themes. But mostly they are both in A, B, C order, right? And we know that both of them provide parts of speech, like if it's a noun or a verb or an adjective or an adverb. So parts of speech. both of them have guide words. Okay, so Miss T is going to make these bold. Make that a no. There we go. And if you have a thesaurus and you have a dictionary at home, then that's great, because then you can actually open both of them up and you can explore them and see the different things in them and make sure that we have all of these done correctly. Alrighty, and then we have synonyms and antonyms for the thesaurus. Okay, once you're filling this out on your worksheet, or if you're doing it on your own piece of paper, and after listening to the video, if you realize that Miss T has left anything off, I would love for you guys to add it for me and to let me know. Okay? And then once you have done this, the bottom half of the worksheet is going to have an activity that you can do with a thesaurus. And if you have a thesaurus at home, that's great. And if you don't, you can always, with mom and dad's help, you can go and find a thesaurus online. You can go to like thesaurus.com, and there's plenty of them online, so you can always Google it. And what you're going to do is you're going to read these sentences. Like the first one says, Jane is a very nice classmate. Well, I want you to go and look in a thesaurus, whether you have one at home or you go online and find one. And I want you to find a synonym, a word that means the same as nice, that you could add here instead of nice. It could be Jane is a very pleasant classmate, something that might sound a little different. Now, and here, it is dangerous to ride a scooter without a helmet. Okay, well, I want you to go and see if you can find a synonym in a thesaurus of dangerous and put it in this space for me. To have the same meaning as dangerous, but to make it sound a little different. And after the rainstorm, my clothes were wet. Well, I want you to go and try to find a synonym for wet and put that here. It could be after the rainstorm, my clothes were soaked. So something that might make it sound a little different, and it might make it sound more interesting if you were using it in your writing. Okay? Also, I'm going to have this handout that has 2 pages to it, and it's called Using a Dictionary. And what I would like for you to do, if you would like to practice, now this isn't required, you don't have to, but I would really like for you to get familiar with a dictionary. And you may be able to use an online dictionary for this, but it might be easier if you have a print dictionary at home, but you could try either one. And each one of these is going to give you a word. It's going to ask you what the part of speech is. And remember, you're going to see an N for noun, or a V for verb, or ADJ for an adjective, or ADV for an adverb. It's going to ask you what page number it's on. Now that you're probably going to find if you're looking in a print dictionary. If you're looking online, then you're not going to have a page number. And you probably also, if you're looking online, you won't have guide words. So if you have to do it online, you can always give me the part of speech and one of the definitions of the word. If you're using a print, then you should be able to give me a page number and the guide words. So if you turn it in and Miss T sees that you don't have the page number or guide words, then I'll understand that you used an online. But if I see that you have that, then I'll realize that you had a print dictionary at home. And so there are a total of 9 words. And if you go in and look, and see if you can complete this. I think it would be great practice, and then I would love for you to share it with me if you can. Okay? What I'm going to go ahead and do quickly is I'm going to go ahead and do the synonym and antonym brain pop and the parts of speech brain pop. Only because we won't worry about the quizzes right now, but we will be able to, you'll be a little more familiar with what a synonym or an antonym is, or a part of speech. Because I don't want you, throughout this lesson, I've been talking about synonyms and I've been talking about parts of speech. And you may be going, I don't remember these. I don't understand this. So I just want to play these for you just so to refresh your memory about what each one of them are. Okay, so let's take a listen and then we'll be done with our lesson.
Ellen the elephant is very big. Right, she's large, and she's also enormous. Yep, she's massive too. You're right, she is colossal. All these words are synonyms, Moby. No, not cinnamon. Synonyms. What are synonyms? A synonym is a word that has the same or almost the same meaning as another word. I love watermelon. It's so yummy. Right, it's also tasty and delicious. Yep, this watermelon is scrumptious. These words have almost the same definitions or meanings, so they're synonyms. How can you use synonyms when you write? Well, synonyms can make your writing stronger and more interesting. Let's see. Moby's prank makes Mia mad. I can find a much better word than mad. Moby's prank makes Mia angry. No, wait. Moby's prank makes Mia furious. The word furious has a similar meaning to mad, but it's a lot stronger. The right synonym can really help get your message across. But where can you find synonyms? Whenever I write, I like to keep a thesaurus handy. That's a dictionary, Moby. It tells you words and their definitions. A thesaurus is a book that lists words and their synonyms. This thesaurus also lists antonyms. What is an antonym? An antonym is a word that has the opposite meaning of another word. Ellen the elephant is big. Mark the mouse is small. The words big and small are antonyms. I can think of tons of antonyms, like light and dark, empty and crowded, popular and unpopular, trusting and suspicious. Learning new synonyms and antonyms makes me a better writer.
Oh my goodness.
It's just a tiny little miniature itty-bitty mouse.
Okay, guys, good job. So remember, synonyms and antonyms you'll find in a thesaurus. It will definitely help you do better writing. Remember, a synonym is a word that means almost the same thing. Each word, two words mean the same thing as each other. Antonym is two words mean the opposite of each other. Okay? All right, good job. Now I would like for you guys to listen to parts of speech.
Dear Tim and Moby, I need to know all the parts of speech. From Nicholas. Well, I don't know if we can cover all the parts of speech in one movie, but I think we can at least show you the basics. Words help us talk about the world, and we divide them into categories based on what they do. A noun describes a person, place, thing, or idea. We're sitting on a hill. A hill's a place and also a thing. Either way, the word hill is a noun. Mockingbird. Mockingbird is a noun since it describes a thing. I'm a boy. Boy is a noun describing a person. Me. A verb describes an action. Fly is a verb. Throw is a verb. Moby throws rocks into the lake. The rock sinks to the bottom. Sink is also a verb. Adjectives describe or modify nouns. Orange would be an adjective to describe Moby's head. Moby has an orange head. This lake is big. Adverbs describe or modify verbs, and sometimes adjectives or other adverbs. Moby stood up quickly. Quickly is the adverb here, telling us how fast Moby stood up. Moby cries very loudly. Here, the adverb loudly tells us how Moby cries, and the adverb very modifies loudly, intensifying the effect. Oh. Here's a sentence that uses nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Seeing the giant hungry monster, Tim and Moby quickly ran home. Guess we should actually do that, huh?
Okay, guys, good job. So I'm hoping that the synonym and antonym video helped you understand a little bit more about what a synonym is and an antonym, and that they're in the thesaurus. Also, what parts of speech. We have N for nouns, V for verbs, ADV for adverbs, which describe verbs, and ADJ are adjectives, which describe nouns. So hopefully that helped you out a little bit after hearing about these different things during the lesson. And also when you see them in a thesaurus or when you see them in a dictionary, if you see an N, a V, or the other abbreviations, you'll understand what they mean. So, oh, this word's a noun, or oh, this word's a verb. And you understand what a noun is, a person, place, or thing. A verb is an action word. An adjective describes a noun, like the yellow jacket. Well, yellow is an adjective describing the noun, which is the jacket. Then you have an adverb, which is Moby ran quickly. Well, quickly is your adverb because it's describing the verb, how he ran. So hopefully that helps you guys out. All right, good job. So like Miss T said, try to print out the worksheets, or you can always write it on your own paper if you want. You can add these that we went over onto your worksheet or your paper. And if you see something maybe Miss T didn't do correctly, or there's one that you can add, please let me know. And then there's a thesaurus section. Again, you can use an online thesaurus, or if you have a print one at home, that would be great. And then there's this dictionary practice. And again, you can use an online dictionary. You just won't be able to use page numbers or guide words. But if you have a print dictionary at home, that would be great. And then you can fill in everything. And then share your work with me so Miss T can see all of the practice that you're getting with thesauruses and dictionaries. Okay, guys, excellent. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me or message me on the library Google Classroom for your grade level. And other than that, please follow directions, listen to your parents and your teacher, get your schoolwork done, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.